Hello and welcome. We're picking up where we left off last time in Shadow Empire. This is the beginning of the stream, so we're starting at the end of a round. So the end of the round at 74. In our self-imposed challenge, people, what people? Which is where we sort of min-rolled the population of a planet on a max-sized Morgana world with low resources. We're getting a decent variety on the resources. So we've got basically at least a deposit of every type, although the rare earth metal is likely going to disappear very rapidly if we start mining it. Actually, quite a bit of radioactives. At this point, we've only discovered one of the other majors. It would be a bit of a dash to try to run down and take over his territory, but that's maybe the direction we're going to go. Victor score-wise, we are in the second place in the podium right now. Of the top three. We're 2 streams in, so we're not doing the best. We're not doing the worst. We are the best in population. We're 3rd in planets. That's what's getting us into 2nd. The person we've found is actually number 4, so if we take them over, assuming no one else grew, that would put us in 1st, obviously. We're not that far behind 1st, so if we ended up taking them over, because all the planetary populations are free folk and not counting for population score, or in one of the 6 nations, taking one of the nations over obviously would catapult us quite a way up the score chart. Although most of the planet is unscored right now. So the planet is, well, to be fair, every individual hex of the planet isn't worth very much. But no one has functional control over that, so there's a lot of score to be had simply by taking reasonably undefended territory. Construction-wise, we've basically finished upgrading the industry to 2. That should probably finish on the next turn. We're a little low on metal, so I'm going to have to slacken industrial expansion going forward because we don't have the metal to build more mines and stuff. And honestly, that might actually support going, say, up against these guys, because with the industry upturn, at least as much as the metal can go, building roads are pretty useful because they're pretty IP high cost, right? There's a cost to build them. There's all industrial power, but they don't really cost any metal, so that's an effective use of our industrial points. So with that, construction looks fine. I don't think we have any mine issues to be worried about. We got an empty oil well. Did I already drop the peripheral mining card this turn? Easiest way to check it would be the decision archive. Yes, I've already played a peripheral mining this card, so we're going to get an event to get that fixed. Do I have any lingering demands? I don't have any lingering demands, so we should just be good to hit end turn, unless I've got an interesting card that I missed playing last time, which I think is a no. Did see one... Well, I saw a couple cards that I will go ahead and play. Most notably here on the units. We're going to do the political aid truck on one of our new tanks.
Copy that.
And we'll do a couple priests on the new tanks as well.
Wilco. 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 Wilco.
That'll help the tanks get a little bit more experience faster. So the priests provide bonus XP gain. And then we have... we only were able to have one political aid truck, but and have at most lose 25% readiness. So they'll retain a lot more of their readiness in fighting, which will hopefully be better for dealing with a lot of the unknown xenoforms here. Because the xenoforms are probably actually what we're struggling with mostly. We'll see if we can catch those guys on the next turn. Because I think we're functionally out of movement space there, yeah. Okay, let's cycle that turn and see how things continue. Yes, a lot of what's going to be going forward is building roads, taking territory. That's going to be the toss-up with going south is, do I think I have the industry to carry out a war against another major? They're weaker than us in population, but that doesn't necessarily translate well to our ability to defeat their troops. So we'll have to see if we can get some reconnaissance on their troops and figure out how good their troops actually are. We recently sort of teched up the troops, so they're all on the sort of second generation of equipment. But as far as we know, we have no idea what the generation sort of equipment of the major to the south have. Guild Hunter over the intern. I do see a couple penetrations going on that we'll have to deal with. So, don't want that to continue. And it is, in fact, there. Okay. Same sort of problem here. So the question here is, where do I want to send the tanks? I think I'm going to deal with these guys first with the tanks. Or the tanks over this way. And then that one escaped to the south. Did you? No, it did not go into that pocket. Okay. And then we held there, which is good. Probably enough up there. These guys to do defense of the pocket here. Okay. Situations, again, we're getting delayed. I'd rather continue to go south, but I just need to keep everyone where they are, apparently. Push you that way. Okay. Our decisions were, obviously, we called for peripheral mining, so we should deal with that. We have an oil well with a ease of mining 3, but 0 reserves, so we're going to extend that. So we're going to roll better than a 125, which is likely to happen. Oh, though not much better. So the Director of the Economic Council rolled a 130, which is better than 125. So this is going to be the last expansion we get on that mine. This resulted in success. We found an exceptionally rich peripheral area. During some detonations, there were some dirt slides, and existing reserves are now harder to mine. So we got 56,000 and a bit more. At the cost that the ease of mining there has been reduced to 1, which means when it runs out, it's empty. There is no more in that mine. 1,600 people. Yeah, we'll take that. We have the money for that. In fact, now I'm thinking about the amount of money I have. We have a convenient source for population here.
Affirmative.
So get some more people in the place. So I think we got that one under control. We got that one. That one could actually still run off a bit. That might be a problem. That one I think has been down enough. We're going to continue deploying colonists here.
Order received.
And I assume the factory completed. Yes, factory is completed. Don't necessarily know how the order goes on the construction points, so we may not have gotten the expanded construction rate from that industry. We have a very weak garrison here with the one Galactic Republic MG. I probably want to put a proper garrison here just to secure the location. Let's raise a formation if we can. Independent machine gun to deploy. And should stabilize the location if some marauders come rolling up. Replacements otherwise are 1 foot we're missing. Maybe in a turn or two we'll raise another brigade of infantry to help push southward. Because a full brigade... Is it brigade? I think it's a brigade. Yeah, full brigade. Is 5,500 men. So that's 2 turns of recruitment on our current recruitment rate. And then strategy cards for the turn. Could deploy more priests, but I think I'm going to hold off. It's a little bit too micro-y. Could do local referendum if we wanted to replace governors. We have a cooperation. I tend to like putting this on governors. So you are the worst of the 2 governors. This is the one in the capital where everything matters, so you get the bonus.
Copy that.
At some point, I think I will probably make a 3rd. Well, maybe... it depends. Not sure how much that rare metal is going to matter. At some point I will make a zone, or maybe designate the zone as the zone, specifically for the task of managing all the truck hubs far away from our main base. Because truck hubs are not affected by administrative strain. As we have to build stuff farther and farther away from our cities, we gain administrative strain. So if I can sort of shove all the administrative strain onto one city, that's one way to mitigate the administrative strain penalties. And the main thing that's going to contribute to administrative strain is assets far away from cities. Initially, right now, it's the ice mining here. This contributes a little bit. In fact, that might be the entire source. Maybe the oil wells here, although the oil wells are temporary. The things that'll be more permanent are truck stations. So either we have to turn them in the cities, or we have to turn them into, or we have to hand them over to sort of consolidate the strain into something. But for the moment, I don't think we need to deal with that. And with that, I think, other than voicing future potential concerns, I think we're good for the turn. We'll take a roll at that. Critical failure. On that roll, we just lost the thing. It's 2 for success, 1 for failure, 0 for critical failure. I think you get 3 for critical success. We don't necessarily need those fate points yet. It just would have made sense to maybe get some ahead of time. We could do diplomacy with the major we have contact with, although I don't necessarily have a good communications person. And they don't actually like us very much, which is fair. Let's go ahead and cycle the turn, see how the situation evolves. The evacuation holds vaguely stable. We should be able to deal with those pocketed marauders pretty quickly. Oh, I think I read, it might have been Reddit, I think there's a beta out for the next patch in this game. Haven't swapped to it, obviously, but there is a patch out that we haven't swapped to. So that was a reasonably good turn for us. We killed 1,000 infantry over the end turn. I did see some units moving in ways that I'm not particularly happy with. We are around 76 coming up, 3 decisions. Still decisions first this time. I have discovered ultralight aircraft. I really want artillery, so we're going to do no new orders until we hit artillery. Worker strike. Yeah, we calm them down by just giving them some money. Offer to buy slaves. We'll take the more population again. And then, assuming the city doesn't absolutely hate us, I'm actually surprised the workers aren't quite happy enough. What's the... Oh, that would explain it. We're not paying them enough. Let's fix that. Call you up. Zone orders.
Affirmative.
There we go. That should help. Then we'll call you up again and pull the slave trader.
Affirmative.
We'll buy some population. Same problem here. 31, declining a little bit. Oh, in this case, there's a little bit of danger and hunger. Okay. Less on the pay.
Standing by. Order received.
We've got a food allowance on. I'm gonna raise the wage a little bit. The pay isn't quite so bad here, but
Order received.
okay, that helped a little bit, but not enough. Okay. You can move there to cut them off. You can move there. We can get the two attacking. Okay, we broke that pocket. Okay, someone moved in. There we go. Okay. No, I want to hold on to that mountain. Move you there. That should hopefully stop them moving there. We could attack, but that's not going to be enough. Okay. Let's see if we can get that pocket to surrender. Looks like yes. Yes.
All clear, sir.
And then we can drive the tank south. Armored car a little bit as well. Yeah, bring it back to deal with the blow. We weren't able to cut you off. On the other hand, I'm less thinking we need to bring in the tank. We'll see how this pocket clears first.
See you on the other side. Okie dokie.
Okay. Although the tanks might help with... We do the dash down to the mountain range here. With the tanks, that would be good. I don't need any replacements. Everyone is delivered. Okay. Okay. That's vaguely looking good. I'm a little bit tempted because the worker happiness is low to try to bribe the zone to get them happy. Let's try that. Here we go. I got them over 50. Jump a little bit. It doesn't help that we have a really high zone culture in the main zone. And then I don't think we've prospected anything else. Nothing yet. And hopefully none of the mines are empty again. The middle will hold for a little while. Metal doesn't burn quite as fast as the oil does, I find. Then we got 300 colonists. Put some colonists in here.
Order received.
How much would the rail connection cost between these two locations? Okay, that's not as bad as I was worried. We may try to put a rail line in between those two locations. Couple turns. Although, the engine itself, or the rail station itself is not super cheap. It's 50,000 or 500 metal and 4 machines. What that was?
Roger that.
Okay, everything's looking fine. We may need to expand food production soon, which wouldn't be that hard to do, all things considered. Yeah, looks like nothing really to drop. Let's cycle the turn. What's the state of the techs? Working on housing, working on combat armor. Okay. I suppose we could discover helicopter engine. I might actually run some helicopters when we got helicopter engine. They'd make good reconnaissance on this planet, I think. Especially if we're going to be moving against the major, be able to run a couple of helicopter reconnaissance runs before we send the tanks in wouldn't be bad. I'm definitely feeling more the need to go south. Doubly so because the relationship with the submariners is not super great. We got 200 infantry killed over the entrance. That was good for us. We have 3 decisions, around 77. And then revised IP if I need to the industry. Okay, that as is. Underground complex. You can see there's no difficulty here. That's because the difficulty is actually negative. I think the difficulty goes up the more tech you have. So we're gonna go say hello to the robot.
Order received.
Military skill of 83 versus difficulty, yeah, difficulty level -7. So it wasn't showing this was negative. The AI gave me a long discourse on high galactic ethics before finally giving me some useful information. We now know about automated turrets. Okay, with our situation, automated turrets actually wouldn't be a bad idea. Traders at the border offer to sell us some ammunition. Yeah, we'll buy the ammunition off of them. Was that a discovery? That was the discovery for automated turrets, not immediately just giving me free automated turrets. So it could be better. Could be better. I mean, I think our mines are still fine. Yeah, we're still not. Only the one's low. I'm not actually sure if I need the tank down here anymore. So one monster. Well, I think the one group moving that way, but between us and them, that'll deal. I could run it south, or I could drag the tank over here. Let's drive this tank westward. Deal with the westward problem. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking I need another brigade, at least of mass. Maybe not an actual brigade, I'd maybe be a little bit better with the independence, but we'll raise a brigade. We got a lot of bench warmers that probably never gonna have really good jobs for, so we just give these guys a job. They may, at some point in the future, be worthy of the job that they have received. There we go. Bunch of infantry. And yeah, we don't really have the industry as of yet to build that rail line. Go, strategic move. Do I need them left or do you need them right? I think left is going to be more valuable. I don't know how big that ocean is, but being able to get all the territory, say, west of those guys near the ocean would be good. Going off the power of our truck system. Some strategic redeployment. So we can get some more of that actually involved far quicker. Yeah, I got the industry to build roads. The question is, where do I want to put them? Yeah, we're probably gonna want to run this way. Was that? That was a hill. That was a mountain. That was the wrong hexed road. Now I see why it was going up that way. Okay. I misread the hex. We'll leave the road there because it would cost more IP to get rid of it at this point. Or does it? That's a question. So nope. Construct road. Demolish. Yeah, it's going to cost me more IP to get rid of it right now. Granted, 5's not a lot, but it's enough. I don't want to spend it. And then we'll do a sealed road there. That'll just get a little bit more supply up to there. In addition, helping us get supply down to that pass, maybe. We'll see if we can get to that pass before it gets taken by the major. No zone cards I want to play. Oh, actually, I can. We got enough money. We'll do the improvised IP.
Roger that.
Okay, that didn't cost much, but that was also just a real bad roll. Improvised IP? Yeah, well, we'll get you a whole road. A whole segment of road. Thanks, guys. I could go and embed some spies. I think they have, like, one zone. Actually, let's embed the spies there. It'll be a little bit easier to get them in.
Roger that.
And in that one.
Roger that.
Give some idea of where the borders are on those zones. And then, what's the value for some of these goods? Water is surprisingly expensive. Some pretty good price on water. Rare metal is also pretty valuable. We'll hoard it a little bit longer before we sell it off. We'll see how much the prices rise. I think that's the other... We probably... Because I was cognizant of our early supply issues, I think I may have fixed my supply issues faster than the other AIs. So we're probably struggling less than them, so that's probably what's driving up the price. The AI is also a little bit more willing to tax their population than I am. So they have more money to spend. They're probably short on stuff and rich on money, whereas I'm arguably, well, until recently I was short on money and endeavoring to become rich on stuff to compensate. We got attacked, we held, we did damage. Okay, 250 dead, 4 decisions, around 78. There's helicopter engines. Okay, so it's going to be tempting to pick up helicopters. You want to target city region number? No. It would be easy, but we're doing democracy. The type that I frequently call doing democracy, frequently call diplomacy, because of how you deal with your people. I give them money, the democratic power of money. New orgs. We could go the diplomacy route, but they're blackmailers. They're not going to get better. So we're probably at least don't need this yet. We're not ready for applied science. If I wanted to go helicopters, we could do Air Force, but we don't need to focus on the Air Force that much. We might get some reconnaissance helicopters, and that's it. Not going to do any spying stuff yet. Don't think we have the bureaucratic points to make that real great.
Copy that.
So we're going to do the none here. We're being blackmailed! So we can pay them the tribute. We can refuse. I'm not ready to fight them yet. I don't mind a little bit of merit, and we are mind-focused, so we're at least getting some profile here. I'm not going to pay them till I'm going to pay them when they ask. Get them go away. Doesn't really matter which commander we hand out here. We'll give the one that's a little bit better skilled to start with, because they're not going to go fast. Okay. So we're being blackmailed, so we need to do something about that. Why did my colonist amount go down? Because our cave got taken. Our cave got taken. The cave is, cave has some value in the fact that it gives us 100 colonists a turn, so we want that fixed.
All clear, sir.
Okay, so worst case scenario, the other nation gets the hex. We can work with that. We're gonna do the pick duty. We're gonna move these guys down. Okay, there is you. Okay, I'll sacrifice the armored car attack. Give it no retreat place. Got enough action points, we'll destroy these guys. Maybe not enough action points, yeah. No real damage besides that. Okay, that was great. Okay, otherwise the rest of the picket is doing a decent job of being ready to respond in case anyone comes rolling through. Okay, so no retreat spot for that one. Let's get rid of him.
See you on the other side. Okie dokie.
Oh. Problem dealt with. And yeah, let's keep moving the tank over there. We'll split the two tanks up, run one each side. And then we're going to run this road just a little bit farther south for the moment. So one hex is better than no hex, I suppose. Okay. Anyway, we got a road all the way up to the front line there, so we're good there. Could try to get rid of some of our worse leaders with the silver retirement and the bronze retirement. Reserve pool. Most of our reserve pool is a little poor. Up to your cap 1, and you don't like us, so you're on the chop block for retirement. That one's gone. That's a start. And then you were the other one that was cap 1, right? Yeah. Here we go. So we got one reserve in case we need to make a roll. We may, in a couple turns, just do a roll for something to see if we can get something that's better for a reservist. We'll pick up the IP. Got a little bit better of a roll. 7-2 there. Yeah, and I think I will go ahead and sell off 100 rares.
Roger
Very
that.
nice payday. Deposit some more colonists in the expansion. We'll have to take back the cave so we can get our extra 100 people a turn. I haven't called you up for the slaves, have I?
Affirmative.
Okay, yeah, we need a couple more turns. We're working with the railway in. Punishment, we're good. So let's, cycle the turn. We held. Killed 3 of them defensively. Got 2 citizens round 79. We discovered VidCom broadcasting, okay. What text are we looking for discovery-wise for the eco? Well, we'd be looking for hydroponics so we can get down to the middle soil filtration faster. But otherwise, we're probably not going to build hydroponics. Uses a lot of water. We're working on housing. VidCom and probably heavy industry. Okay, so we'll probably stay discovery focused until we pick up heavy industry, and then we'll about phase and go pretty heavy on the research. Until we can get our effectively the 3 done here, right? Housing, heavy, then I'll probably do like VidCom and probably, well, we haven't discovered university, so we want that at some point as well. But I think higher education negatively impacts population growth in this game. Oh, you're depleted enough. I think we're going to send you back to town. Oh, and these... Looks like they've merged up there. Yeah.
All clear, sir.
Okay, so we're going to need to take a road detour over there to provide some supply. Oh, walked straight into them. Okay. First combat loss in a little while. We don't really have enough info to attack. That didn't work how I wanted it to. Okay. Yeah, let's detach you. Clear out the animals, because I'm more worried about the animals than I am about the marauders. Okay, this hasn't been a bloodless turn. We've taken some losses.
All clear, sir.
We're definitely freeing up, in various theaters, freeing up some people to do this stuff.
All clear, sir.
There we go. Citizens, you want us to hire a candidate? Sure.
Roger that.
You want us to accept a blessing? Sure, we'll take the democracy. I'm not too worried about heart. Yeah, that's going to suppress our mind a little bit. Profile-wise, I'm not really worried about having mobile ops. Because, yeah, we like action points, we like attack. I don't like losing 40% defense. But, and then that's mechanized. We're not really running very many mechanized forces right now. And 50% research would be nice, but we can roll without that. And that's maybe a little bit of a stretch getting up to academic mentality. Maintaining 90 above is a little bit hard. Commerce, we like to get up at the stock exchange. But again, it's not the end of the world if we don't. If we could actually get Cold of Rebellion, I might be interested in trying to actually maintain the Secret Service Council, so we can start poking the neighbors. With the power of the spies. Okay, our power is having issues. Ah! That's why the power is having issues. The organic furnace is gone. Okay. There's a couple different approaches to this. The quickest one... Well, not necessarily the permanent one, but the quickest one is...
Affirmative.
build another furnace. So we've already got roads here. It'll be able to burn the trees out to one tile next to it. We can upgrade it for 2, upgrade it to 3. And that's probably fine. We could probably do that over here as well in the future, if that one burns out. The other thing is upgrade the solar power plant. We're about 150 power short. Upgrading it's another 70 plus a bit. So we're gonna need like 2 upgrades to cover the power requirements. Good thing that solar panels mainly cost rare earth metals. So we already have all the rare parts, or all the rares we need. We'll be short a few machines if we're gonna do a double level up. But I can probably afford the 3 additional machines. And obviously that's going to blade the train station, but that's just what we need to make sure the power doesn't go poof. Because we need to power things. We need things, or we need the ability to power our equipment. So they want to re-establish contact. We can see from their spy report that they control no territory west of the ocean here. So if we can get to the ocean, we stop them expanding west there. And then if we keep rolling south, we might be able to just stop them completely from going west. That would open up the front wider, which if we get into a fight would be a bit worse. Because we don't necessarily have all the men in the world to commit to this problem.
Order received.
Do some workers. Could do another improvised IP, so we'll do that.
Roger that.
172 is not super great. I think it must go down like the more you do it. Or it's based on the number of idle people. Because the capital, I think we're pretty close to full employment. Yeah, we've only got like 20,000 people not working. What's the state of the mines? Okay, we've got a couple turns on the metal mine. We're not going to be able to upgrade the water mine even if we needed to. And then the oil... Granted, the oil will run out pretty quickly. The Tier 3 private oil still goes pretty quickly. But at least we can expand it once. When that happens. We have the need for replacements this time. 400 foot troops. And I can build roads if I need roads. Do I think I need roads? Not immediately. We built the one out there. We probably built a little bit further south, but maybe don't need that yet. And then over here, we only just took this territory, so I can't build it over here. Okay, let's look at the turn. Okay, they're attacking the non-aligned forces. That helps us out, because otherwise we'd have to attack them. It does look like they didn't take the Hex. That looks like rebels. Nope, those aren't rebels. Interesting. Okay, so that's where they got driven to. You request permission for a personal guard. We'll use the mind option to get out of that issue. Yes, we'll give them our attention. We got the political power for that. We'll go mind here.
Yes,
Stress
sir.
the need for more research. This balance is fine. That balance is fine. We'll help mitigate that emergency, even though we don't really want government. And we'll pick up the slaves. Then I think we'll pick up the slaves again.
Affirmative. Affirmative. All clear, sir.
Okay. That's that problem dealt with. And if we end up with a war, I'm probably not going to care too much about that salient, falling immediately back to the other major. Okay, we basically control that pass.
Requesting backup.
Reptiloid cavalry. So, okay, that's the aliens. We have intelligent aliens here. It might be a good idea to actually pick up a direct to the Foreign Council or Foreign Affairs Council for some of those. Do some diplomacy with those. Okay, let's push the armored vehicles back up to deal with the Marauder. Otherwise, spread the picket up so we don't immediately go in and really lose this territory. Okay, it's not much of an improvement of the road, but play that a little bit. We got 300 colonists this turn, so let's get them deployed.
Order received.
And then I don't think I can expand that road very much. Actually, that's a decent expansion. Let's get it to there. And over here, we can probably expand that road a little bit. Yeah. This is probably where we want to do that split. So we'll run the road out to there as well. Okay. Could do a bronze retirement on the reserve pool. So we got a cap 1 from the faction and a cap 2 from the other faction. Let's try to retire this person. Okay, successfully got rid of them. Improvised IP.
Roger that.
There we go. 500 IP. That'll be a little bit better. And then, yeah, we don't have any luck of negotiating with the blackmailer, and we don't have any of the Xeno, because we've only just established a border with the Xeno. Which, of course, has immediately resulted in me shooting them, which is not the best way to start off your relations with the one of the few friendly nations on the map. Do replacements, and everything looks fine. Okay. Let's workshop up 3 machines while we're thinking about it. Do I have any? I still have the scrap right here, so I should still be getting some rare earth metals coming in. I suppose I could set up this mine. It wouldn't be too hard to set that up. Although we don't have the power right now. We'll revisit that in the future. I could sell some metal off if we're short on money. We'll hold off and see if the metal price goes up. After our last exchange on the rare earth price, the price has dropped, so that was definitely the time to sell. Of course, now I'm looking at the power, we're low on power. Kind of there's nothing I can do to fix the power issue. Well, there's one thing I could do to fix the power issue. Reduce the power production from our most expensive power asset. For 75 power. I think the only thing that was really eating power. Besides the bureaucracy. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna gamble on the now complete organic furnace making enough power that we don't actually run out of power. That may be wrong,
Affirmative.
but we're gonna try. I'm not gonna shut things down power-wise yet. Okay, so I think there's one guy in there somewhere. We can probably squeeze the pocket to find him. Let's try not to attack the reptiloids while we expand. As far as we can tell, I don't think they are fighting the reptiloids either. So if that's effectively a secure border to both of us, then that works out well. Because then that gives us this very thin front, which is actually a narrow enough front I could probably fight them back on it. Plus, I would definitely be down to recruiting some mercenaries to do picket duty for me. I don't expect the local aliens to be great fighters, but you know, I don't need to feed them, and that's its own special power. Okay, the reptiloids are at least not attacking us, which is good to see. Okay, we got attacked by those guys and held, did damage. Killed 3 infantry, have 3 decisions complete, or 3 decisions to pick, and have 81 round, or round 81. Okay, so that's... don't have the decision, apparently. We are at war with the theocracy. You want to hire your candidate? Sure. Policy speech. Recon on hexes or private assets. We'll go the commerce one. That'll probably autocomplete. Obviously, we'll take the ammunition off the traders. I'm surprised we don't have enough action points to attack that guy, but that happens every once in a while, I suppose. Okay, we'll tightly pick it up a bit. At this point, I just need more. I'm gonna need more troops. Like, there's only so thin I can take the front line, or it becomes just a little too thin. Yeah. I think I maybe have enough to keep a cohesive line against them. But that's what we gotta try doing. Any luck on getting... no. Got some spies. Well, we're obviously at war with them, so let's buy some spies with them. Get some more info on them. Improvise up some more industry. That was a good yield on that roll. Do I need any more minerals in a mine? Not yet. We're approaching the point where we're going to have to do that in the middle mine. Which will be a bit of a shame, because that means that'll be the last expand the mine, but we're not there yet. We're 6 to 11 turns out on it. And then you can see the oil is going to be real soon. The oil is probably like 6 to 11 turns out as well. On the conservative thought process. Okay, so we don't really have any losses to account for. Did I go around and actually upgrade the buggy? Yes. Although we haven't built any of the new model, apparently. Yeah, because we've got 100 attached to the light infantry brigade, first light infantry brigade. And that's it. So we got none of the up armored one. And you can see the up armored one is so much better. At some point we need to replace them. Maybe once we duel this pocket, what we'll do is we'll take these guys back to the capital and replace them with the new model. Yeah. And we used up all the power, which isn't great. Okay. You did provide power. You didn't provide enough. We were 83 power short. Oh no, we there was a shortfall. It wasn't quite that bad. We were able to play 94 with 84 surplus power. The solar power plant will be upgraded next turn. Okay, I don't think I have the power to power you. So let's mothball you for a turn. And mothball you for a turn. That should save us enough power that we're mostly running full power. And we'll just have to do that for 2 turns, and then we should be power surplus again. 2 turns and we should be power surplus. Of course, that's going to be the entire time we're with those guys, so we're going to be like, oh, I need the industry, and can't have it. Can't have it yet. Okay, so next turn, we can hook up the road networks. Because assuming we don't lose more territory back to the major, and then we can basically roll down there in the road network. So we'll be doing road upgrades rather than new built roads, which in a way is actually probably a good thing, given our potential industry shortage.
Order received.
Got some more colonists in there. I'm still rich enough to buy slaves. Let's buy some slaves.
Affirmative.
And then let's... I think I've been through the cards already, right? We're not getting very many cards a turn, so I can just remember which ones dropped, but... yeah. And then we don't have any cards scrapped yet. Okay, let's cycle the turn. So we've got 1 encircled. Could have probably moved the infantry up there on that. These infantry up a bit. At the moment, I think you're fine where they are. And we've got this guy encircled over here, so we'll see what he does. So I think a little bit of this, what's going on right now is... the diplomacy AI doesn't necessarily talk to the military AI. I probably wouldn't imagine the military AI would have wanted to declare war in the current state of affairs. So they're just kind of getting thrust into the war. Okay, so they attacked us while encircled. Not necessarily attacking the unit, the components actually encircling them, so they've probably doomed themselves. We'll pick up where we left off last time in the next part, with the continuation of that war that just started up, where over the end turn we killed 400 infantry. We have 2 decisions on the upcoming round 82. So if you're watching on YouTube, there will be put up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm going to take a short break to sip about a half a cup of tea, and quickly stretch the legs, and we'll be right back to recording. So until the next part, wish you all the best of luck and a good time, catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.